Hey, how you guys doing this evening? It's your brother again, nothing but a servant of the Lord. Before we get into this, I want to pray. I want you to pray before also watching, because this is definitely an important dream that I just had about 2 hours ago. It's August 24th, 2015, and it's around 7:12. Dear Father, thank you for this word that you've given us today. Another word that you've allowed me to share. I know that on this ministry or on this YouTube channel, it is not me but you, dear God, that leads us, dear God, to know the truth of this world, to know the truth of what you revealed to us in the name of Jesus. Dear God, I thank you for the YouTube people and the brothers and sisters, not just people, but my brothers and sisters that you blessed me to have in my life, dear God. I thank you for letting us use each other's dreams and visions to encourage each other, dear God, to keep walking and keep striving and to know what is to come in the name of Jesus. Dear God, I thank you, Jesus. I thank you for who you are. Thank you for the blessings that you bestow upon us, dear God. In the name of Jesus, dear God, thank you. So, last night, you guys, I was led to draw this. So, those who have an eye, let them see. Those who have an ear, let them hear. We're going to say on that part, amen. Amen. Now, the number 444, it's, to me, has many different symbolisms. I've seen it so many times that now when I see it, I just bow my head down and say, Jesus, thank you, you know. He's amazing in all that he does. Mine, I looked it up and it was, we know that it's more than just our angels being with us. You know, we know it's the sign of God's coming judgment, the sign of us being raptured up real soon, the sign of his coming. So we know the gist of what that number means. I don't get too much into numbers, but the Lord has shown me that specific number so many times that I'm like, okay, God, I get it now. And your will be done. Amen. Now this dream, the enemy was not trying to let this dream out, you guys. I'm telling you, man. And it's important. Like, I'll be distracted or writing it down by something else, or this guy, you guys not believe the dream that I just had. Now, this is a dream of, I guess, the inner workings of the Illuminati. Can you believe that? So I hope that, you know, I know the Lord will protect me, so I'm not, you know, too worried. So I'm just gonna title this "The Dream of Truth." Amen. Now, these were about the Christians who were left behind, and what's happening to their body parts, the people, the inner workings, and the, you know, in these last days, you know, the power that they, you know, what they're doing inside of the world, and the power that they hold. Amen. Excuse me, you guys. It's crazy. It's a really crazy dream. You know, so definitely pray before, you know, watching this, and make sure that you guys are listening with your ears, with your soul ears. Amen. You guys are just not gonna believe this. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. Glad I got enough pages here. I almost ran out of pages. Okay. So I called it the Vision of Truth. Now listen. I woke up in a bloody bathroom, and there was this hired killer there, and he was already in the stall. Like, I wake up and there's blood everywhere, but he's already in the bathroom chopping somebody up. And so I leave, but instead of running, I try to trick him. I leave and I go back in. I'm like, yeah, the guy who hired you said I was okay. But the hired killer said, no, he said kill everybody. But I was like, hey, the guy that just hired you is outside. So he was like, you know, just kind of went to his doing. but I'm trying to trick him not to kill me, but instead of taking off, I'm trying to trick him for some reason, right? So when while he's chopping up the body, like, okay, right across the bathroom was the woman's bathroom, but there was this, when you look up, there was like a gap between the bathrooms that I could jump up to. So I jump up there, climb up there, and I hide. So when he came out, he was looking everywhere, but he went back into the stalls and he called the person. He was like, well, is this guy the one that you want to save, or am I supposed to kill him like you said? But for some reason my phone goes off, and I'm looking right at the guy, but he doesn't know I'm up there. So like, I'm looking right at the guy while he's doing all this, and my phone goes off. And you've ever seen that in the scary movie where your heart drops because that's the killer, and your phone just drops and finds out that you are supposed to be killed. But I wasn't that scared yet. Okay, so he's like, okay, and he's still talking to the guy. I get down and I take off down this hallway. Now I'm in a hospital, you guys. I'm in this hospital, but as I go down and read this dream, you guys will understand it's not just a hospital. This is a hospital ran by evil in the name of Jesus. Okay, and not ran by evil in the name of Jesus. You guys know what I'm saying. Just the and just the significance of this dream is why I said that. Okay, now while I'm running down this hallway, I hit the hallway. I hit this stairwell, and I'm booking down. And in my dreams, I'm able to swing with down like each stairs, like kind of crazy, where I don't even have to use the stairs. I just use the railings, and I jump from one end and I swing, use the inertia of my body to keep just swinging to where I'm going down so fast, using this inertia in this type of way that I don't even have to use the stairs or use my feet. And so I go down 3 levels, and I hit the door, and down the hallway is this nurse, but she's not looking my way. So I cut into a little room on my left, and you guys, they shut down the whole hospital looking for me. I mean, everywhere. Okay, now while they're doing all this, I hear the voice of Jamie Foxx. Can you believe that? Jamie Foxx. Okay, and he's like, "Well, get him." Like, you ever seen him in that presidential movie he played in? He kind of sounded like that, but he was like the commander. It's another Green Zone down, or the Green Zone, where he's like a soldier, more like that than a president. And these soldiers were just checking every room. The floor above me, I heard them. The floor below, beside me, they were in this room right next to me too. They were just shutting down everything, looking at every little place, every nook and cranny. So I'm like, okay, so where do I find a good place to hide so they don't find me? But I'm like, yo, these guys are searching everywhere. I don't think I'll be able to hide from them. So I'm looking at the window, and something says in my spirit, do you want to live? So shoot, I'm like, yeah, man, I want to live, So I bag up a little bit, and I run full speed, boom, and I bust through the window. And I'm able to kind of guide myself through these through the objects that were right below me. So I get down, and there's a guard there, and he takes out his gun prepared to shoot me. But I'm anticipating where he's going to shoot me and when he's going to pull the trigger. So I dodge the first bullet, I take him out, and I take his gun. Then I'm running, and there's another guard there, kind of right in front of it, right in front of this little area. So I take him out, boom, but he shoots me in the eye. Alright, but I'm still going. And there's another guard who's another famous person, and I don't want to say his name. Okay, you ever seen Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? I'm not going to share it. Someone's stopping me from sharing that. So it was one of them. Okay, now it's gonna get even more crazy, guys. But I take him out, and while I take him out, he's falling, and while running past him, he grabs my hand and takes me down with him. So another guard comes over top of me, and I gotta shoot him too. and I'm pulling that trigger, man. I'm like, God, like, and I don't see the bullets flying, but I know that they're going, you know. So while I'm shooting at him, the dream switches. So I'm in the same scenario. I'm still in front of this hospital. Now this is where I want you guys to really hear, you know. There was this same scenario, but I think the dream changes where I'm not in trouble anymore. The heat has died down on me, and whatever's going on. But while I'm walking down this sidewalk, there's this French guard, and the Lord is telling me, now listen here, the French and the government and your government are working together with this. So to me, you know, me being human, I was like, nah, that has to be Russia. And I was like, I think I was just using it, but I was like, something else was telling me, well, you want to go with your own interpretation of what the Lord is telling me, amen. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to let it be, you know, I can't use my own interpretation, you know, who are we but humans, right? So this God, he gets mad at me, you know, like he's staring at me the whole time while I'm walking down. Now, I don't think I said anything. I think I'm just looking at him because he's staring me down, like. So I'm just like, you know, like what's up, you know? I'm not looking like, you know, trying to fight him. It's like, you know, like, you all right? Like, what's up, man? You want to say something to me? Or and he gets mad. And he's like, and he starts speaking in this French language, and he's just like blah 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 blah, just talking, going crazy. Then his guards come take him down, and while they take him away, he starts crying, like confessing, like wanting to confess and saying something, like he's boiling down. He's just crying like really hard. So while it's happening, his head starts to bubble up first, then his body, then boom, this guy just explodes. So while he was exploding, I was like, man, why this guy just explode? I mean, nothing was left of this dude at all. So I'm looking, and I'm just like, man, what just happened? Then the Lord takes me to these two scientists, and these guys were talking as if they were like demon possessed. You guys, you would not believe it. Okay, now they were speaking in this language, almost like demon possessed, but you can understand what they were saying to each other because they saw the explosion, and they were like, well, I'm glad we have these helmets of scientists and not the helmet of soldiers, just in case the soldiers would want to, you know, run away or confess what's going on. Because before the guy exploded, before everything happened, that's what was going on. Like, you can tell in his spirit, like, I'm doing something wrong, and he's just blowing out crying, you know. So I'm just like, okay, you know, I feel your sadness in your heart, you know. So all this is going down, you know, they're just looking at each other saying, well, we're glad we don't have those helmets, you know. So I'm just thinking to myself, even in the last days, those who do choose the wrong path and choose, you know, the enemy over Jesus, is going to be betrayal even between them. So, you know, that's just crazy how I looked at it. And the Lord let me know that inside of that helmet was an RFID chip. Isn't that crazy? When an RFID chip, when you have it installed in you, if you do something wrong, they're able to explode it, and that explodes inside you. Amen. It's crazy. But this is what I want you guys to see. Not only that the scientists were demon possessed and all the inner workings of the people of the Illuminati in this last days era, and what they're doing in these last days, but that the dream, like my spirit switches over real fast to this van, and in the back of the van you see metal cans, like containers, kind of like vaccines or some type of liquid, and Jay-Z was there. Out of all people, Jay-Z, and I already knew what it meant. But what he said was even more astonishing. He said, my Father's will is done, or my Father has completed something. He said, my Father, and something being done, okay? Now, knowing Jay-Z, I already knew what it was, okay? Now, when he said, my father, I was like, okay, this is something that's going down. These people in the Illuminati, they're doing something to make, you know, the enemy's will done. Now, it's something to do with vaccines. It's something to do with Christian body parts. It's something to do with hospitals. But now, when I'm looking at this, I'm already thinking about parenthood. That's number one thing I'm thinking about. They're selling baby fetuses for money. The Illuminati is all over that. Satan worshippers are all over that. So we know that the elite is working something crazy. And I'm just hoping that, you know, that this doesn't get too government, you know, because this is something that I believe the Lord showed me, like the true inner workings of what's going on. But I'm going to end it there, guys. It's already 15 minutes, you know, but this dream was just, I believe it was to let me know, like, what's going on in the inner workings. So I'm letting you guys know also. I definitely couldn't share this, you know, not share this with you guys, you know. But no matter how important or how detailed it is, it's something that the bride needs to know, something that the people needs to know. So I can't hinder the Lord's words and what He's shown me, no matter how important it may be. I feel like this is something that truly nobody should know besides the Illuminati. Like, as far as, like, if you're a civilian, there's no way you should know that, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, the Lord, He's going to expose it all, and I feel like He just exposed something really big in this vision. So I'm just happy to be worthy to have such a vision, to have such a dream. Again, you guys, pray before, you know, taking all this in, you know. Like I said in the first beginning of this, pray to the Lord, you know, just ask Him, you know, ask Him, God, Lord, give me a spirit, guide me through this vision, guide me through Brother Chim's vision, you know. I want to know what is truth and what is not, because I am just a man. I'm a servant of the Lord, but I'm just a man. Amen. We don't follow man, we follow Christ. This video is getting too long, so I'm ending with you guys. You guys stay blessed, stay rapture ready, stay prayed up so we can be raptured up in the name of Jesus. Okay.